As an employer in California, you need to know that if you have an employee who is not legally authorized to work in the US because of some immigration problem or a visa issue that he's having, regardless of whether that issue is temporary or not, that employee still gets to enjoy the same benefits and the same protections that California employment laws provide to all the other employees who are legally permitted to work in the US, including US citizens, permanent residents, and anyone else who has the authorization to work in the country. Many employers miss this point and they misunderstand the law. They assume that if a person, such as a tourist or illegal immigrant or someone whose visa hasn't been approved or hasn't been approved yet, they assume that if that person isn't even legally allowed to work, he surely couldn't make any claims against the employer. But the legal reality is very different. And in fact, it's the opposite. Under the law, you should not be hiring people who don't have the permit to work in the US. It's against the law. But if you choose to hire those people, they have the same exact rights as all your other employees. And they can make the same claims and they can file the same lawsuits as any other employee. This includes lawsuits for wrongful termination, discrimination, harassment, retaliation, unpaid wages, unpaid overtime, violations of meal breaks and rest breaks laws, and any other claim that any other employee could make. One serious and costly mistake that some companies do, especially in the tech world, is not paying an employee whose visa hasn't been processed yet. They tell that employee, hey, we will pay you later once your papers are in order. And sometimes it takes 3 months, sometimes it can take 6 months, or it can take even longer. And sometimes, for some reason, that employee's visa is not being approved at all. And then some employers think that they can get away with not paying that person. They're thinking, well, he's not authorized to work, we shouldn't be employing him anyway, so we're not going to pay him at all. But under the law, that employee is entitled to all these wages, including any interest and any penalties that could be applicable to his claim for not being paid, as that would be the case with any other employee. So remember, technically it's against the law to hire a person who is not legally authorized to work in the US. But if you choose to hire that person, you have to treat him or her exactly the same way as you would any other employee, because that person has the same rights and he can make the same claims and he can file the same lawsuits as anyone else. Thank you.